Shalom, shalom again, brethren. I'm sharing another lesson study with you, and it is the 6th installment of the lesson study, Christianity masquerades as good, but its foundations are evil. In 1498, a Portuguese named Vasco da Gama found the sea route to India. It is said that he was the first person to sail from Europe around Africa to Southeast Asia. In 1498, Vasco da Gama landed in India and immediately started to claim parts of India for the Portuguese. Of great surprise to the Portuguese, they found in India a large synagogue. In fact, there were over 200 large synagogues established under authority. The Portuguese, upon watching the service of the synagogues, realized that the service had not differed much from that of the synagogue service of the synagogues of Jerusalem. In effect, the service was not Roman Catholic styled Christian church service. One might ask, well, how did this synagogue that the Portuguese found ended up in India? Well, the disciple Thomas had ended up in India after Yahushua's death. This is why and how the synagogues were established in India. Thomas had converted many of the Hindus to become Nazarim, or followers of Yahushua. The synagogue of St. Thomas of India is widely called the Church of St. Thomas of India. It was established some 1460 years before the Roman Christians came to India. And I will reiterate that it was established some 1460 years before the Romans came to India. The Roman Church, led by the Portuguese, were surprised to find this and the other synagogues there in India. Upon seeing how successful the synagogues were in India, the Portuguese sent reports back to the Pope. After these reports got back to the Pope, upon hearing the news about India and what was found there, the Portuguese sent a second expedition to India. On this expedition, they set up the removal of the Muslim traders from that region and established themselves as the exclusive traders of that region. By the third expedition, in effect, the Muslim traders were totally removed and the Portuguese monopolized the trade. This was done in the 1500s. After making successive trips to India, on the behest of the Roman papacy, the Portuguese conquered that region of India and in turn infiltrated the synagogues of St. Thomas with Romanism to the point where the Romans, who upon finding images of a black Yahushua on the stained glass murals of the synagogues, started to paint the black images white, in effect whitewashing the images. The Indian leaders were pressed by the Portuguese, who started to wreak havoc on the region with warfare. In essence, the Portuguese began to colonize that region of India. The Pope then sent a decree stating that all of the synagogues in India now belonged to the Holy Roman Catholic Church. These synagogues were over 1,000 years old, and here it is, the Roman Catholic Church, the Portuguese, comes with their decrees and claims these synagogues. One might ask the question, well, who was this Pope? This Pope was Rodrigo Borgia. He was elected unanimously on the 4th ballot as Pope Alexander VI. And by the way, Rodrigo Borgia is the father of Cesare Borgia, the famed white image of Yahushua HaMashiach, which is so widely found in most Christian churches today. The Evangelical Church of America has made efforts to raise money to send missionaries to India, as if they were bringing the word of Yahuwah to India for the first time, when for some 1,500 years or thereabout, the word of Yahuwah was already there in India. The Indians knew about Yahuwah's word long before the American, European, evangelical churches went to India. Even today, some 1,000 years later in India, when they build temples, there are statues built into the walls of these temples. These statues are of the disciple, the apostle Thomas. This is one of the ways that the Indians show a mark of respect, that they put him there. However, what the Catholic Church truly did was that they broke up the synagogues that they found when they took over, implementing their doctrines. So in reality, the synagogue will never challenge the Roman papacy. Here again, we see that Christianity masquerades as good, but its foundations are evil. Brethren, you know how to contact me via the comment section in YouTube, my WhatsApp, or my email. Shalom.